And welcome to Blackfeather Guild. Before we go in and say hi to the cast and get started with the show, I wanted to talk very briefly about viewer actions and a little bit about sponsors. So, first off, there's a number of ways that you can actually actively participate in the show through viewer actions. One of the easiest ways to do so is through retweeting the game tweet. You should see that somewhere in chat if it's not in there already. But you just click on that link and hit retweet, and for every 5 retweets that we get on that, it will add a bonus to the cast pool and the game master pool. Now, in most cases, that's going to be an extra d6 that they can add on to any roll. Basically, a great way to use that is if a player is almost meeting a DC, but they're just not quite there, they can grab one of those d6s from the cast pool, roll that, and then add that to their roll. Basically, is how that works. Same with the GM. So that's one of the easiest ways that you can participate that way. Another way is through guild coins. That's our Twitch channel points. If you look at the rainbow colored icon, it should have the Blackfeather Guild crest on it. It should be right below your Twitch chat box. If you click on that, it'll show you all the different things that you can get with those. The biggest one being plot points. Now, plot points, you can see an example right over here. They all work pretty much the same way. It's just a matter of how big of an impact they have. So for the example, when we've got 2 plot points, the player of your choice gets something moderately helpful or unhelpful. Enter any suggestions for the GM into chat, or you can have the GM come up with something entirely on their own. So just choose if you want it to be helpful or unhelpful to the party, and that's kind of how you can use them. You can throw in your own suggestions as well. How those work: 1 plot point is something trivially helpful or unhelpful. 2 is moderately, 3 is very, and 4 is very to the entire party. So if you want to do something to help the entire party or really throw a monkey wrench in their plans, 4 plot points will do that. So that's guild coins. And then finally, we've got donations. So if you want to help out with keeping the lights on in the place, so to speak, there's a number of ways that you can financially contribute. One of those being coffee.com/Raven or Raven.rocks. You can see both of those examples down there at the bottom. Those are the addresses to do direct donations. You can also do Twitch subscriptions or bits. Those work the same way. And then finally, Patreon. We've got a Patreon, which you should see in chat here any second if it's not there already. And our Bard tier patrons and higher get credits towards viewer actions every month that they can use on any show that they would like. You just have to let us know in chat how you want to spend those, and then we'll hand those out. So some very cool stuff. Before we hop over to see the cast, one last thing to mention is a couple things on this chart here. We've already covered the D6 and the plot points, but the triple crits, what that means is you can gift auto critical successes. And you can, it's triple because you get 3. You can divvy those out however you'd like. You can do 2 to the cast, 1 to the game master, all of them to the game master, however you want to do it. So they work much like the D6s. The cast members just grab that when they're available and they really need them and use them. So it's pretty cool. And then finally, the last one, introduce an ally or enemy NPC. Just give us a brief description of what you want this character to look like, kind of their character concept and a name, and let us know if you want it to be an enemy or an ally to the party, and the GM will basically take that and run with it. So really cool ways that you can participate. Lastly, I just want to take a quick moment to mention our sponsors. If you look at the logos down below, that's who's sponsoring this episode, and we'll talk a little bit about that before we introduce everybody as well on the next scene. So yeah, check all this stuff out and thank them for supporting us, and thank you for being here and watching. Let's go say hi to the cast.
Hello, welcome to our session 0 for school days. I am the GM for this wonderful band of super teens, and we're going to get to learn all about all of you today. This is going to be a probably just a buck wild session 0, if I had to guess. I'm excited to learn all about it. Let's see here. We are going to start out doing some character introductions. Starting top left here, we have Nikki. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm absolutely terrible about talking about myself. So just imagine I'm a super that's it. I really like gaming, so I'm just looking forward to this a lot.
All right. We're going to come back to the characters real fast because we're going to be doing pretty much all Meet the Characters today. That's going to normally be that's going to be one of our standard opening questions. We're going to move on over here to Lance. Can you tell us about a little bit about yourself?
Hey, I'm Lance. I'm a user of the internet, usually hanging around Twitter when I can manage to stomach it. I'm here. This is my second season on the guild. Hello again.
All right, fantastic. Next up, Brian. Hello.
Hi, my name is Brian Ha. I'm an avid performer, mostly an actor, but I've done some other performances as well, just like voice acting, dancing, singing, etc. I'm also a huge D&D and tabletop RPG fan, so I'm very excited to be a part of this lovely podcast.
Fantastic. Kat, I think you were up next, just going around the circle here. Your mic is muted, Kat.
Of course it's muted. So hi, I'm Kat. Kat N. Schrodinger, Kat name Schrodinger in most places. Super excited to be starting my second season, and it was season 5 now with the Black Feather Guild. And I'm a nerd.
And Leopold, you are up next. Leland, hello.
Everyone. I'm obviously an avid tabletop RPG gamer. I think all of us are, but at this stage, especially if we got in touch with this awesome channel that plays all sorts of things in the hobby. I'm a social media consultant for a few companies, probably some pages you follow, to be honest. Fantasy Grounds and Zombie Orpheus Entertainment, the Fantasy Network, a few different film companies and tabletop RPG companies, but mostly just hanging around doing RPG stuff, using my degree super well, which has nothing to do with RPG stuff.
All right, Stacy, you're up next.
Hey, my name is Stace. I am known around the internet as Stace Windu. I am a podcaster and TTRPGer coming here from Cypher System and enjoying what I'm seeing of Mass so far. So I'm very excited.
All right. And I'm Matt Hoadley. You can follow me over on my streaming channel, Jam Game Streams. And I also have a podcast that I will talk about later on today. We are playing Masks. This is a Powered by the Apocalypse game. It's a great game about teenage superheroes and kind of the identity stuff that goes along with that. We're going to be talking quite a bit about the system today as we kind of build characters. And there's one thing I do need to point out before we get into the actual game. Before we get into talking about this, the game comes prepackaged with its own setting. It's called Halcyon City. It's got its own generations of superheroes that you can play with and its own government agencies and all that. Because I'm me and I just don't know when to stop. I threw that all out the window and pulled in a setting that me and some friends built. There is a link over in chat to a page on my website where you can learn more about that setting. We're going to explore one of the big major cities of it as we go along. And y'all can learn kind of what we're going to do there. The cast knows some about that already. And I think we are ready to start talking about players. So we're going to be going back around in the circle, talking about your character a little bit. We're going to be working on what we need to do to kind of build these characters out. Just because of time constraints, we're going to jump the line and we're going to start with Brian this time. So we're going to talk about your character first.
Great. First off, I didn't know that you had a website about your world, but I'm very excited.
I may or may not have built that on stream today.
Great. Love to hear that. But yeah, so let's talk about my character. So my character's full name is Ehrenborg Koroko, but please call them Aaron because they hate their full name. Their pronouns are they, them, and they are essentially, I'm going to play a legacy. So they essentially come from a very historic and, rich bloodlines and ancestry of superheroes that ties around the entities of shadow and light. And ultimately, ever since they were born, they were destined to take on the mantle of the shadow, to always be behind the light, supporting it, especially when their oldest brother supposedly died. But they essentially rebelled, and they're now considered, even though they're still 15 years old, they're considered like a wasted potential, especially when their younger siblings are now taking over. But I guess what I can describe is they look very ambiguous, with like long black hair, brown eyes, slightly tan face in general. What else can I say? Do I give like description of what they look like in their superhero?
That is up to you.
Okay. I guess when they look in their superhero outfit, they have the traditional black jumpsuit, right, to signify the shadow, but actually it's not black, it's dark velvet. It looks black from far away, but closer up it actually is like dark velvet. It symbolizes their rebellion against their family, who always wears like black outfits. They also have a short mini cape, which is actually black, but it is covered with various patterns of flowers all over. They have and the cape also has a cloak, which they use to hide their face for the most part. And that's really about it in terms of in terms of outfit. And in terms of powers, if you know Mask, if you know the legacy, I guess class, is it like class?
Playbook,
the legacy playbook. I chose the shadow superpowers, so like shadow portal, shadow control. I also did, I believe, intimidation and magical weaponry.
Awesome.
And yeah, I think that's about it, unless there's more to talk about.
The next thing that we want to talk about with your character is going to be the labels. So the labels are the big they're the stats for Mask.
Yeah. Yes.
They're also what's going to be changing a lot as we play. The way that people see you, the way that you see yourself as a hero is going to influence those labels to shift. Everyone has a starting point. If you're looking at your playbook on that labels grid, each one of the categories has one number that is blocked out in white on the actual playbook. That's where that starts out, and you get to give a +1 to any one of those labels. So go ahead and tell us your starting stats there for Aram and which one you're changing.
Okay. Ha ha ha. Okay. So my starting stats are, I believe, if I'm correct me if I'm wrong, it's -1 to danger,
Mhm.
0 freak, +2 savior, 0 superior, and +1 mundane.
Yes.
And I could change one of them to 1, right? Like by
You
one.
give a +1 to one of them.
Right. Oh God, this is such a okay, I actually to fit the character more, I have to do +1 to freak. Sorry.
All right.
Cool.
All right. So let's go through some of these backstory questions. I believe you actually answered a lot of them. You answered a couple of them.
Yeah.
We're not going to answer the team ones right now, and
Right.
we're going to talk about where your character is at during team building time when it's time to get there.
Mhm.
Everyone else is going to have. We're going to play that out a little bit. So let's see. You more or less have answered your first question. So, what's the greatest accomplishment of this legacy that you are a part of, willing or not?
Are we talking about historically or like individual wise?
What is more interesting to you to answer?
To me. Like to me or my character. Sorry.
Yes.
Oh, to me or to my
Whichever
character?
one,
Whichever
whatever
one?
makes you happy in this
All
moment.
right.
What fills you with joy?
You know, just living fills me with joy. It feels
Well, there
like
you go.
character joy. Just try to live. But I guess the greatest accomplishment, right? I think it really. I mean, I don't know what to essentially give out, but what I can really say is, when the duality of the two entity or two powers, shadow and light, works really best. I would imagine that in terms of family heritage, when the dual superheroes work well together, they made like massive accomplishment. I'm just saying that because I don't know how this will like impact the history of the world you're bringing us. And since we haven't like discussed further, I wouldn't want to like alter things and completely things like that.
Oh, you're fine.
But yeah, I would say that's like the greatest accomplishment of my legacy because that would put more pressure into the newer generation within that legacy.
Okay. Love it. We're only going to do a couple of these questions from everybody. Be thinking
Cool.
about all of them because I'm going to pick randomly. But that touched on a good point. Nothing about this world that I'm giving y'all to play with is precious. Wreck it
Cool.
as need be. Your characters are taking the spotlight here. Run with it as you see fit. Do not worry about the world. The world will adapt around you.
All right, they stopped the world from ending multiple times. All right,
They do that. Yeah, love it. Look, y'all are superheroes. That stuff happens literally every week. I've watched the Arrowverse. All right. One last question for you here, Brian.
Yeah.
How does the public at large perceive of your legacy?
They, as a collective, they very respect the legacy. Specifically for Shadow, there's some fear because of how they perceive it, especially when there's this, I guess, like because we are like the Shadow legacy. It's very like relentless. It's very like we're gonna stop at nothing to get to justice. So it can be brutal in a sense. It can be very cold, right? But they greatly respect it. But specifically for Aram, they do perceive Aram as like a wasted potential. Like because he was essentially ever since his birth, their birth, they were very hyped. Like they were considered like the greatest possible hero to ever take the mantle of the Shadow, and then they were also built up for it, only to essentially almost throw it away.
Okay.
So yeah, it's wasted potential.
All right. That sounds great. Cannot wait to see how what you do with Aram over the course of this season. Okay, we're going to keep moving in the same rotation we did last time. So, Kat, hello.
Hi. Am I still okay? I'm still unmuted. So I'm playing the Outsider.
Yes.
And the name of my character is ASDF WTF IDK AFK. And there's a story behind that, but I think that's a story that I think I'd rather play out.
That's totally fair.
So, yeah, I'm a strange being who's like taller and thinner than an average human, almost like somebody like I was a picture on Silly Putty that you made from the newspaper comics and you stretched it out. My skin color is like this almost normal human gold color, with like a two-way iridescence. So like in one light, I'm kind of purpley, and another light, I'm a little green. But if you look at me straight on, I'm gold. I am really excited to be on Earth. It's fun and exciting. My special abilities are what was it? Telepathy and mind blasts, and stunning beauty and pheromones.
All right.
Oh, I can also fly, and I'm pretty tough.
Yep. You can just fly. Don't worry about it. It's fine. I'm sure everyone can do that on this weird Earth planet.
Right. That's totally normal.
All right. Let's take a look at your labels. Run down for us what you got and which one you're changing.
So danger is -1, freak is +1, savior is 0, superior is +2, and mundane is 0. And I upped danger to 0.
All right.
Because I think my character is new to this planet, and the physics of it might be a little bit new and weird. And I know like somewhere in the playbook it says your characters aren't killers. Well, my character wouldn't intentionally kill anybody, but
Okay.
Like living and dying works differently here.
All right. So
Like there's definitely going to be like a why is that person not moving anymore moment at some point in the future of my character.
Okay. Of all of these, so of the 5 backstory questions, which one do you want to answer? Which one do you personally want to answer and tell everybody right up front? Now, this doesn't mean other characters will know it, just the players.
All right. I guess like why did you come to Earth? I got 2. Why did you come to Earth, and why do your people want you to come home?
Love it. Let's get them both.
Because those are the only okay. So I came to Earth as it's a rite of passage for the citizens of my planet to go to another planet and complete a project, kind of like the Peace Corps. And why do my people want me to come home? Because they miss me, one, and my other half is also on a project kind of journey and is having a hard time being away from home.
Okay. That's fantastic. This is going to be a fun time. You're going to get to blend in with all these Earth teens. Everything will totally make sense, I'm sure. All right. Up next, we got Leland. Hello.
Hey, what's up?
So, what's your character? Who are you?
All right. I'm playing I'm doing the playbook, The Transformed. And my character is a 17-year-old 10th grader who is really bad at math and literature, mainly because he doesn't really care about either of those subjects. He's really into science and stuff. But
all right.
Yeah. And 70% of his body is made out of various earth materials, which isn't something he's completely into, but he's just kind of going to deal with it, I guess.
So I can assume that you chose for one of your abilities then plant affinity.
Sure. Because I haven't chosen anything, but we can do that one. That's a
Yeah.
good one. Where's that one go? How does one?
Let's
Wh-
see here.
Tell me
Do-
how to do that.
All right. Do you have the playbook, the actual like
Yep.
playbook, not just the
Yeah, I've got the playbook and the Roll20 sheet both open in front of me.
Okay. So in that playbook, if you look under abilities, you get to choose two.
Moves,
I'm sorry.
transformed moves. Oh, abilities. Sorry,
abilities,
I see.
yeah.
I see. Okay, I didn't see the word abilities at first.
you're
Sorry, I
fine.
interrupt. Go ahead.
Plant Affinity sounds right up in there. Which of the other ones do you want to add? You've already kind of described how they make you grotesque, so you've already kind of done that one.
Yeah. So yeah, plant affinity. So yeah, my body is part human. Just mainly the right side of my body and my head are human. With which it's slowly like sort of almost like Princess Mononoke style, like it's just like slowly like moving its way over my body.
All right.
And so what's transmuting flesh do?
That one would probably be like your flesh just kind of can warp into other things.
Okay, all right. No, not that then.
Uh,
Plant
based
affinity.
on what
Go ahead.
based on what you and I have talked about, I feel like Inhuman Might, if you want to be very strong, or the Superhuman Senses might be pretty good fits for your character.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm kind of torn because I like three of them. I like
Okay.
I like plant affinity. I like superhuman senses because of like tremor sense or something. But I also really need to pick inhuman might. So, so I'm gonna go. Is there ever a chance to get other ones?
Not of those two usually.
Ooh,
not of the
this is-
abilities.
This is a toughie. I only need like 4 of these. I just realized. All right, so plants are cool. Whatever. I'm not gonna play that much of a plant guy.
Okay.
I'm mostly like rock and dirt, but I've got like some plants growing on me that I'm cool with. I don't know if I can talk to them or anything.
Okay.
And tremor sense is cool, but I think what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna do impenetrable armor and inhuman might.
All right. Love it. Next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna do your labels.
Okay, let me mark these real quick. Sorry, I don't know where to put these on the character sheet. Whatever. I'm just gonna mark them with like the little draw pin or something. Beep, beep. Okay, labels. All right, I'm over here at labels. Sorry
All
about
right.
that.
There's a space for that on the Roll20 sheet as well, where you can just fill in the number.
In the first column.
In that one box on labels. you
Okay.
can
Well, which
move it up and
number
down.
do I choose though? There's
Okay.
just like a lot of numbers there. Is what I'm asking.
in the playbook, when you're looking at that array of them, one of them is in white and the rest of them are blue.
Okay. Okay, so I basically pick a number from the list for each row.
It's chosen for you as starting values. So your danger is a +1 to start with.
Uh-huh.
Your freak is a +3.
Oh, I see the highlighted ones are okay.
Yeah.
Never mind. I got you. Okay. Sorry, this is my first time playing.
No, you're
this
fine.
System. It won't take me long at all to
You're
pick it up
absolutely
once I
fine.
actually do it, but -1. Okay, so I got those programmed in now.
All right.
I have a 2 total sum of 5 labels or whatever. Okay, so all right, I've got those programmed in. What's next?
Okay. What are the other 3 labels?
I've
So
got,
I'd said what danger and freak were. What are the other 3 that you got to start?
okay,
with
so
here?
danger and freak. Okay, so I've got a 1 danger, a 3 freak, a 0 savior, a -1 superior, and a -1 mundane.
Okay. And you get to give a +1 to any of those. So you get to move any of those except freak up 1 point on the scale. Anyone you want. 'Cause
Okay,
I don't think freak can move any higher.
and I'm not trying to just come at this like an angry combat guy type way, but I really do think danger might be important because my character is going to kind of be like a little bit like the Thing, a little bit like the Hulk, a little bit like juggernaut kind of with like destruction, like charging through things. So
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. That totally works. So you're moving danger up to a +2. I love that.
Yep.
All right, let's talk about your backstory here a little bit. Who were you before you were transformed?
Just a slacker who, like, I mean, a teenager, so kind of, room for growth, but mostly kind of a slacker who never really cared so much for school. Just dabbled here and there with various instruments, never really even got good at too many of them. The only thing he considers himself good at is like writing like metal lyrics. But he can't really sing, so he doesn't really know much about how he's going to use them. He's tried to join bands before. Basically just kind of slacker metalhead, like really into like horror movies, stuff like
Okay.
that. Kind of basically me in high school, pretty much.
All right. So let's see here, because we're going to discover some of these as we play the game for sure. So why do you choose to still be in the world? Why aren't you just like a hermit out in the wilderness with other rocks?
Oh, well, I haven't fully transformed yet. It's kind of this slow going thing. It's just like ever since my character like hit puberty, he's just been he woke up one day like with like his elbow was like made out of stone, and it just like spread from there, like from the left side over to the right, and it's slowly moving. He as far as why he hasn't just gone off into the woods as a hermit, I mean, he's still kind of holding out on joining that metal band, to be honest. But that's not quite it. That's just like a secret dream of his. Maybe I don't know, like I've got an idea. Maybe he like actually helped someone once instead of just like walking by like he always thought he would if he saw something bad happening to someone.
Okay.
And he actually helped them once, and it made him feel good for once, and kind of helped him. Trigger warning. It kind of helped about mental health. It kind of helped him get over his depression of the involuntary transformation that's been going on. So like it's kind of like almost didn't like make him better really, but just sort of gave him some sort of relief and acceptance that is fleeting, and it kind of keeps escaping him. So it feels like maybe he just needs to keep doing good things, even though he doesn't have the inclination to do so normally. It's just kind of like a trade-off for him.
Okay. Yeah,
This
that
stage.
totally makes sense. All right. Let's see here. All right. So we will learn more about Stone Strike as we go through our story. Next up is going to be Stace.
All
Let's
right.
talk. Now, before we get into your character, because your character, and when we get over to Lance, y'all's characters have some interesting stuff going on. So, general rule for the two of you especially, you don't have to tell us anything more than you want to about what's going on with your character. Right up front, we're going to learn some more stuff, and I'm deliberately hyping this mystery because I'm a punk. So, Stace, talk to us about your character.
Yeah, so my character is based on the Scion playbook, which means that their parent is a supervillain of some kind. However, the Scion has chosen to at least do good, if not be good. So my character goes by Hacktivist as their hero name. And
That's very good.
yeah, and she is, she's going into her senior year. She's kind of small, pale, doesn't go outside much, keeps hair short, and always is wearing, like a one of those squared off like laptop backpacks where you can fit in like 5 laptops, and then her hoodie's got, the cell phone pocket and the other gadget pocket, the wire runners, and she's always got if it's available to the consumer, she's got the latest and greatest stuff. She's got like a Surface Duo already, and like a drone, whatever it is, she's got it. Maybe some old Google Glass she keeps, around just because. Yeah, so that's kind of her vibe. And then
So how much do you want to talk about your parent?
so I mean that depends. So I noticed one of the team backstory question with the Scion is probably going to get into that. So if we're going to answer that question, we're probably going to have to reveal some of it.
Okay. We will see if we decide to touch on that one. But it might just be that we'll see. We'll see what happens. So yeah, we'll leave that question alone for right now. We'll come back to who your parent was.
Okay.
All right. So let's run down your labels real fast and which one you're going to change.
Yeah, so the Scion comes with Danger and Savior with a +1, and everything else at 0. So I chose to raise Superior to +1.
All right, that's
Okay.
fantastic. Let's look at some of your backstory questions. We're not going to talk about. Oh boy. Let's talk about this one. Why did you turn from your lineage to being a hero?
Yeah, so Margot was on the internet, as she almost always is, and started reading some Glassdoor reviews about what it was like to work at her parents' corporation, and sort of with that realized how hard these people were working, and then there were massive layoffs. And so yeah, that was kind of, Margot was not about that. So she said, screw this, mom, and left.
Okay. So outside of the people who are ideally supposed to be helping you kind of cope with this in your team here that you're going to get to know, do you have anyone who's helping you be more of a hero?
Yes, and I would say that's where the mentor character comes in. So
Fantastic.
yeah, that would be the superhero Gilgamesh.
Okay. We are going to talk about that. We're going to talk about our mentors here in a little bit. It's going to be a good time when we get there. So we will talk about Gilgamesh here very soon. All right. Let's see here. Nikki, are you currently stable enough with your audio to talk about your character, or do we need to bounce over to Lance for a second?
I can try to if I'm not breaking up. I don't know what's going on outside.
Your audio sounds pretty good right now.
The weather. Okay, good.
All right,
Okay, I'll try this.
Yeah, who's your hero?
My hero her name is Star, and I'm using this playbook.
Okay.
And in her normal life, she was in just like a regular kind of family and a dance student. And obviously she realized she could get her abilities and try to be a hero with her supernatural senses and impossible ability. So she's trying to figure out how to be a hero with that.
Awesome.
While being, dance girl.
All right, very, very cool. Let's take a look at your labels here. Same as we've done. What are your starting labels, and which one are you going to give that +1 to?
trying to right now, right? My connection is here. Got like bar. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
I think she's going to add one to I'm not even sure what they really mean. Yes. Superior? I don't think she has that. I'm trying to see what they are. It's just not loading. Got like
Okay.
half of the page.
So danger is used for like punching, like directly engaging. Freak is for things like if you're using your powers in a way that's especially not human. Savior is defending others. Superior is kind of investigation, manipulation of people and things. And mundane is all about, hey, we're all just teens, man. And this is a lot.
I'm scared.
I maybe mundane.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. Okay. So we're gonna get you just two quick questions here on your character's backstory. Why did you first put on the mask?
Because she was dancing and it was at practice and a decoration fell and she was able to dance over and get it. Like in those bad movies where somebody just kind of runs in and saves the day. And she did that and she's like, oh wait, I could really do something good here. And that's when she decided to be a hero.
Awesome. All right. And is there somebody who is kind of the J. Jonah Jameson to your Spider-Man, someone who thinks you are just awful despite all the good you do? You have someone like that?
Yes. She has a sister who just thinks she's like the worst ever. They're close to the same age. Star is like 16, her sister is 15. Sister hates everything that she does. And it's like, oh, well, you did this, you saved this person in dance class, but I'm going to tell everyone that you wanted to knock the decoration on them.
All right. We got
Because,
an angry sister.
Siblings.
Love it.
Yeah.
Is your sibling superpowered as well?
I did. Yes.
Perfect.
Well, no, she does. No, she's not.
Okay. I love it. This is great. Okay. We need to go back 1 second over to Stace. We missed one part on your character. What are some of your abilities that Hacktivist can do?
Well, yeah, wait, what makes my character a superhero? That's a great question.
It is. Oops.
Yeah, so Hacktivist's abilities are machine control and electrokinesis. So controls the machines and controls the electricity.
All right. Very, very cool. Now here's a quick question. We're not going to get into details about this. Are those inherited powers?
They could possibly be.
Okay, just maybe. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Perhaps.
Very, very cool. Let's hit up Lance. Let's talk about our last hero, and then we're going to go on a quick break before we come back and get to see what some of these teens can do in person. Lance, talk to me about your hero.
Hi. Well, my hero is Raphael Chiclana. His hero name is Raph the One, or Raph One when he needs to say it a little faster. He is, he's a doomed guy. He's the first in his family's history, as far as they know, to ever have powers. Just a sort of miracle is probably how I'd put it. So he's just chilling, pretty exuberant guy. Happy to be here.
Okay. What can Raphael do? What are his powers?
So glad you asked. Raphael has the ability of telekinesis, moving things with his mind, memory manipulation, which he can give you the little. This is not the person you're looking for. And he can make psychic constructs like like a Green Lantern sort of a thing.
Fantastic. Now some of this is going to come up in gameplay, and again, you don't have to tell us anything more that you don't want to. So we're going to kind of avoid some of the soft spots about what your doom is until that kind of comes up narratively. So let's take a look at your labels real quick. We're going to skip right over that nice little place that says Nemesis, where you get to choose something that's out to murder you, a teenager, and we're going to talk about your labels instead. So what are your default labels, and which one are you changing?
All right, my defaults are Danger 1, Freak 1, Savior 1, Superior -1, and Mundane 0.
Alrighty. And which one are you giving that +1 to?
I'm gonna bump my Savior by 1.
Perfect. I love that. Okay. So let's talk about your backstory here. Without getting into details, how did you learn about your doom? How did this come up?
So, what's been happening lately, it's a kind of a new thing, is that as Raph is, Raph's been in the, probably get trained for a while, so he's noticed that as time's gone on, he's started to have moments of memory loss, moments where it takes him a second to remember something. He'll think about his childhood home and what did that look like? And he'll think about, best friend he had in kindergarten. What were they like? What was their name? And originally he thought, just getting older, forgetting things. But he had one day where he could not remember his own mother's name or what she looked like for an entire day. He woke up the next day, he could remember. Weird.
Bum, bum, bum. Okay, so we got some memory gaps happening. That's terrifying. You have stumbled onto one of my personal greatest fears. So bravo, good job. Okay, so there's a nemesis out there. We're going to talk about the nemesis and what's kind of happening down the road as we learn more about Raphael. So why do you oppose this nemesis? Why are you just like, nah, man?
I think Raphael heard about this nemesis and felt a compulsion to defeat them.
Perfect.
They're like,
I love that.
Sides of a coin.
So something that we're going to get into more here in the coming weeks, your character has a sanctuary. You and I are going to talk about that. We're going to figure out what that looks like. It's going to be very cool when we get to it. But that will be probably here in a couple weeks. Right now, I believe we're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to come back for Superhero Summer Camp. See y'all here in a bit. Welcome back from our quick break. We are about to get rocking. All right. I hope that teaser that I left y'all with at the very end of our last little segment there was appropriately teasy, but it's all true. We are going to Superhero Summer Camp. Welcome to Camp Golden Oaks, everybody. Oh, sorry, singular. Camp Golden Oak. There's only the one. That's a lie. There are 7 golden trees. I don't know what that means yet, but they're out there. I can't stop myself. I'm sorry. I'm a world building monster. Okay. This is all about summer camp. So we're going to get to know your characters a little bit. We're going to do a few scenes with y'all as y'all kind of participate in camp activities. This is a great summer camp. In Roll20 for my players, I have provided y'all with a new handout that I unlocked during the break for all of y'all to look at. It's called the Map of Camp Golden Oak. That's the map of the campground y'all are at. Viewer at home, if you would like to look at this map, all you have to do, there's a link in chat that takes you to my website, and it's got a map of Camp Golden Oak too, conveniently enough. You can take a look at that if you also want to look at the layout. So we're going to start with Margot. We're going to start with your character. You are standing in an open field with just like a rucksack and all of your normal gear. Vanishing off into the distance is a helicopter that your mentor put you on a few hours ago and sent you off to this remote site in the middle of Texas. Gilgamesh just said, "Hey, trust me, get on, go. I'll be there in like a week. Don't worry about it." And now you're just standing in this open field. There's a few buildings around. You can see what looks like an amphitheater kind of off down to your left. You can hear the faint sound of a waterfall somewhere. So you assume there's a river of some sort. You can see some buildings, and walking across the field towards you is a man. It's the Central Texas summer. You don't wear jackets. You wear as little as you can get away with in Central Texas summers. This man is in black boots, black jeans, black shirt, and a long black trench coat. And it looks like shadows are just pouring off of him in waves. And he's just walking towards you and stops in front of you and just looks at you and just, you are.
Did you just come from a rave? What does that look?
He arches an eyebrow. He just goes, you sound like my son.
That's cool. Here, hold this. She like hands him her laptop, flips it open on his palms, and starts pulling out her hotspots to see which one works.
He moves his hands away, and it's just like shadow hands stay there. And he just crosses his arms over his chest and just goes, you didn't answer my question.
I forgot your question. I'm going to be honest with you.
Why on earth Gilgamesh thinks she can drop their charge with me early? I'll never understand. Come along. And he turns, and his shadow does not move. It's still just holding his laptop. Now it's behind him, and it's moving with him as he walks.
Okay, so Margot will keep up and keep trying to triangulate her location. That's what she's ultimately trying to do. Figure out where she's at. And so I'm early, so I don't have to be here right now? Is that what you're saying?
More will be arriving soon. I was chosen to be this year's head counselor for my sins. And a chat window pops up on your computer from Gilgamesh.
She clicks it open.
Be good. You're in Texas. I'll be back in a couple days.
She'll type back. She's like, I won't promise to be good, but I will promise to stay here.
the dots. It's just typing, and just goes, "Yeah, I'll take that deal."
All right. So Margot will shut the laptop, tuck it back away, tuck back her hotspots, and say, "All right, well, what is this? What are we doing?"
The man pauses, turns and like looks over his shoulder at you, and then one of his shadow hands that had been holding your laptop just like points behind you. And he says, "Welcome to Camp Golden Oak." And over your shoulder is a giant golden oak tree.
All right. I like it. It's specific and accurate. Yeah, I appreciate that.
Yes, older superheroes were very on point with their naming. We're here to train you and others of your. And he somehow, like, his face doesn't change, but he somehow like sneers when he says this. It's your generation to be better heroes.
Then your generation, is that going to be hard?
Depends on who you ask.
What do you think?
I've clearly failed as a father since my son doesn't want to follow my footsteps, but some of my generation have saved the world once or twice.
Generation, saving the world. This sounds kind of familiar.
Well, do you read comic books?
Now and then.
I'm sure you've read the Centurion books. It's mostly lies.
Oh. Okay.
Your cabin, and he like actually gestures with a hand, is going to be through there. Your roommates will be showing up shortly. I think one of them is already here.
Okay. Thank goodness. What kind of amenities do we have? Do we have air conditioning? Do we have our own bathroom?
Bathroom, yes. We're not savages. Air conditioning. And he pulls a Palm Pilot in the year of our Lord 2020 out of his pocket and like starts like tapping on it and just goes, no air conditioning. You don't have anyone who does ice powers in your cabin. And then flips it shut.
Do you want me to go to my cabin or stand here?
If you'd like. Nothing's going to happen for a day or so.
I'm a day early?
Yes.
Uh,
Apparently, Gilgamesh's choice were to take you to a reactor bombing or leave you here with us.
I'd rather be at the reactor bombing. That sounds cool.
He just sighs and like his whole body just like droops and he's like, me too.
Okay. I get where you're coming from. I get it. All right. Well, I'm going to go to my cabin.
All right. So you gather your stuff and you start walking towards the general direction that he indicated. We're going to flip over now to let's see here who's going to be there first. I think we're going to have ASD, FWT, FIDK, AFK is already going to be in this cabin. This is a typical summer cabin, bunk beds, concrete floor, mesh screens on the windows, bathroom kind of tucked away to the back. One fan on the ceiling trying real hard to do anything. So, ASD, what are you up to? You got dropped off here early as well. Earlier this morning, you were dropped off here. Your mentor, Quetzal, also said that he had something to do with a reactor, left you here and zoomed off. with a burst of lightning. So you've been here as well. What have you been up to in this cabin all by yourself for an hour or so?
I've been touching everything. Like everything. Like everything is new here. It's like a whole new world. Cause it is. And like the blankets have an interesting texture. Like what is this? This must be a blanket. I read about that. And I think to a certain degree, my character might be like, so my character flies. I kind of imagine my character floats a little bit, and just doesn't like walking on the ground unless it's to like feel the texture of the ground because it's new. And I would say like that ceiling fan that's trying really hard to do anything is doing anything because I am like manually spinning it and just floating around in circles with like a finger on one of the blades and just like, this is interesting. What is this?
About that moment, Margot, you walk into the only cabin that the door is open on. And you see this golden-hued individual floating off the floor, being propelled by what looks to be the world's worst ceiling fan.
Is this what we do at camp?
Oh, hello. Is this a merry-go-round?
No, it's a ceiling fan. It moves the air to help keep you cool.
Oh. Then what? Hello?
Hello.
And I take my name badge and I hold it out and I say, this is my name in human.
Okay.
And it says ASDFK, ASDF, WTF, IDK, AFK.
Just rolls off the tongue.
Do you know what some of those mean?
No. Well, you see, I told the administrative human my name, and they just typed these letters into their machine, and it popped out this name. So this is my name in human, I think. Is it a bad name?
Yeah, they didn't do you any favors. Would you like me to try to write out your name in human?
Oh, okay.
I mean, if you like the one you've got, I'm just saying, I don't know if they did a good job.
Okay. So I think I would kind of look at you and my eyes would glow a little bit. And you see like this image of like really bright light, like or like this backlit two flying things, like they might be organic animal type things, like co-orbiting each other, and like there's just a really loud white noise.
Okay, so there's not a direct translation for that, I don't think. Yeah, boy. Well, I mean, if you like what they came up with, honestly, I'd just keep it until you find something better.
Oh, this is delightful.
Good.
I don't know how to say it with human mouth or with mouth. We don't speak with mouths here, or not here, but where I'm from.
I try not to speak with my
I had
mouth
to take
as
many
well.
classes. What was that?
Oh, I don't like to speak with my mouth either. I like to speak with my laptop.
The communication device
Yes.
and the symbols.
Yes. the letters
Interesting.
and the symbols.
Oh, and there are numbers too, if I remember correctly.
You do remember correctly. And also, if you do it the right way, you can send images and videos.
How do you get them from your head into the communication devices?
You have to type the correct letters or numbers or symbols in the right order. Which is
That
where I
sounds
think
very
you're-
tedious.
Well, you get pretty fast if you practiced.
But you could just send messages with your brain to brain. And that's like way faster than even like lifting a finger to push a button, to make a symbol and send it over the electricity to another communication device that translates that electrical impulse into a symbol. And then you have to like see it with your eyes that translate to more electrical impulses that then your brain like scrambles that into like an image. Like that's a lot of work when you could just do this. And then I do some more telepathy magic. And I show you a picture of a strawberry. I think those are my new favorite Earth things.
Strawberries are pretty good, but what if it's not a strawberry? You showed me a picture of the two creatures orbiting with a noisy background.
That is my name.
No, two creatures
Yes,
orbiting?
that. Yes.
Oh, I can spell that
Well,
for you.
there's more to it. There's also the sound and the light and it's the
Right.
feeling that you get from all of those together.
And this is about the way that the next 48 hours of Hacktivist's life goes. I imagine breakfast is a whole thing. When lunch and dinner the next day are different meals, that's probably a whole thing. If y'all wander down to the lake swimming, probably a new experience. I don't know, but that might be a whole thing too. This is how your next 2 days go. Eventually, at some point, the two of you kind of get press ganged a little bit into volunteering for the rest of registration. So on y'all's second day at camp, y'all have been dealing with all sorts of empowered young people. We've got some really young ones that their powers developed early for whatever reasons that are almost going to like a super powered daycare, almost just really nurturing individuals that are like, no, we don't throw fireballs at our friends. Up through middle schoolers where it's less about not throwing fireballs at your friends and maybe aiming better so that you just hit lockers. And actually, could you just not? And we'll put you in this big room where you can blow everything up because you're middle schoolers. And that's what you want to do is you want to blow everything up. So go nuts. All the way up to people your own age, high school age people who are about to go out and become like licensed superheroes all on their own. There's not that many people your own age. You've seen a few come through. Mostly they are brought in by older superheroes who have kind of taken them under their wings. Most of them are people who kind of fit the traditional sidekick mold a little bit. As it turns out, the six of y'all really don't. Eventually, the man who greeted you, Margot, has at some point during these 2 days finally managed to introduce himself like a human as Erebus, and you have gathered that his son, Aram, just refused to come to camp because he was there, and Aram doesn't want anything to do with his dad. It's a disappointment, really. We'll learn more about that as we go on with this story. But not today. Today, we're going to meet our other three heroes who are actually at camp, Hacktivist and IDK. I'm just going to randomly pick letters out of your name to use as your nickname as time goes on. The two of you are manning a table. Your job nominally is to when a teen comes up to get their name and to hand them their badge. Which of you is doing which job, and why are both jobs being done by Hacktivist?
Because the symbols are stupid. I can match symbols to symbols. I know this is the same as this. I can do things.
And Hacktivist is just absolutely letting the line move at a crawl to allow time for IDK to like understand the name given and then match it to the available symbols. And Hacktivist is like, buh is B. B looks like this.
So you see a couple people down the line, maybe 2 or 3 people down the line from you. One of them is half Rockman, but the person that really draws your attention first is the superhero in full costume standing next to him. It is a bright yellow and green costume, and the person wearing it is basically doing laps. Like, he is not standing still. 1 second he's next to Stone Strike, and then all of a sudden he's over at the drink table getting some drinks and coming back, offering them to various people that he knows. Then he is all of a sudden just gone and then back with a Happy Meal, and he is moving all over the place, and he eventually just stops next to you, Stone Strike, and he just is just like, why is this line moving so slow? I could be in London by now. I have to be there tonight. We're fighting someone. It's been on the and he's just gone again.
What? Whoa.
And then he's back. And this time he has a pizza box, and he just flips it open and holds out and just goes, stuffed crust?
Yeah, dude. Do you have any blue cheese?
He's gone. The pizza box is like floating in the air, and he comes back and there's another pizza box, and he just hands it to you, and it is full of buffalo wings with blue cheese sauce.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Thanks. I'm gonna use my I use my human arm for most things and kind of just tuck my my earth elemental arm sort of up, more kind of ashamed of it in a way. I don't really like to reach out and grab things from people with it, you know. And I'm going to take just take the food and start nomming down on the chicken wing and go, you should be more patient, you know. I mean, I know life moves like real fast for you and stuff, but you should just honestly just be a little more patient.
There's a blur on the other side of you, and a woman in her mid to late 20s suddenly appears in kind of a pink streak of light next to you and just goes, yeah, Quickie over there doesn't slow down for anything. We've tried for years. Even if he is faster than me. We'll see how that goes, though. I just have to find the right music. And then she's gone, and you can follow like the pink streak of her path over to where she's standing next to Star, and she shows back up, and she has 2 slices of stuffed crust pizza on plates that she snagged from Quick Peek's box when he wasn't looking, and she holds that one out to Star and says, snack?
Where did this come from?
Oh, the really garish guy up there in the yellow and green. I steal all his food every chance I get.
Oh, sure. Thanks.
He only
I'll
gets the
take
good
some.
stuff, so.
I'll take the pizza. I haven't had anything to eat on the way here. I'm starving.
So while these two speedsters are continuing their flirtation, for lack of a better word, really, as they're both just like dancing all over the place, the doors at the back of the room open up, and the last of our little heroes, walks in with his mentor, who is in full costume like all the other mentors around here. And as he walks in, like a bunch of the other older generation of heroes just kind of nod to him. Some shake his hand as he's walking through. So Raphael, tell me how it feels walking in with Midnight Fox, who is clearly getting a lot of deference from people around him.
Well, as they're walking in, Midnight Fox is getting all that. Meanwhile, Raph's off to the side with his phone up. It's Raph the One here. Here we are at Golden Oaks, a brand new adventure. What a sick place, guys. Come on, look around. Being very loud and boisterous right next to this seemingly solemn figure.
Oh my god, is he an influencer?
I love this
Recently.
so much.
It's amazing.
All right, so Stone Strike. Eventually, I imagine at some point, Quick Peek has moved people out of your way and slowly been cutting y'all up the line, and y'all approach the desk. So, describe what Hacktivist and IDK see walking up besides the just intolerable speedster.
You see a character who looks like he might have been about 6 foot tall at one point, but at this point he is gone up to about 6'9". He's the majority of his body, most of his chest, his left leg, left arm, most of his back, with the exception of his right arm, his right leg, and his head, are all composed of earth material, mostly different types of granite and mud and local flora, and from like the area he was born in, and just the occasional mushroom and vine growing here and there, but mostly composed of just rock and tightly packed clay and mud. Unfortunately, he's not exactly held together too well, so he does leave a bit of a mess behind everywhere he walks. And he's got a leg brace on his right leg that basically helps him balance out the fact that his left leg is this giant stone column. So it basically essentially it's almost like a piece of an Iron Man suit that he's had that his mentor, I assume, footed the bill for and had fashioned for him so he could, walk and stay balanced with his left leg, at least until his transformation finishes.
Okay. Hacktivist, IDK. How do y'all react to Stone Strike when he approaches?
And one last thing. He's got a Iron Maiden t-shirt on that is like a triple extra large to so it's kind of like really saggy on the right side of his body, and it's like tightly fit on the left side.
Good.
Anyway, go ahead.
Name, please.
Sorry, what'd you say?
What is your name?
Oh yeah. Phil.
Is that is that a rock band?
Yeah,
And I'm
it's
pointing to your shirt.
Yeah, that's Maiden. And throws up the devil horns and just like
I don't. I smile. I don't understand, and I feel like as I'm handing out these badges, I'm also like using my kind of empathetic, telepathic to give everybody like a very warm welcome. but I'm not like warmly welcoming them. I'm implanting the feeling of being warmly welcomed.
I love
Like,
it.
Yeah.
I'm
So you
as far
feel
as
like
I
the warmest welcome, but it doesn't jive with what you're looking at.
as
For
far as
neither of us, I would assume.
as far as my character interprets that as is your character's just really into metal, so we're gonna have some cool conversations about metal later. Cool jam sessions, you know.
Yeah, sure. Oh, strawberry jam. You can make jam from strawberries.
Yeah, that what are you in? How'd you know I was thinking about never mind. Anyway, nice to meet everyone. Yeah, name's Phil. I think I'm going. I've been kind of workshopping my name a bit. I think I'm gonna go with Stone Strike. You know what I mean? Because I got all these like rocks and stuff in my body.
Why are there so many words for the same thing?
What? Oh, like rocks and rock.
Rocks and stones and
Well, they're
and
more
then
of a
there's
metal
so many
band.
things for the same name word.
Yeah, Maiden's more of a metal band though. So that's just a whole other word that means something else too. So I guess that just
And
adds more
metal is just
confusion.
really hot, specific rock.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a few veins of it in here. Like you got some iron over here, and I just like point to my shoulder. It's pretty cool.
Quick Peek, your mentor, is next to you again, and this time he just like reaches over your shoulder and just puts a breadstick right in front of your mouth and just says, "Eat this."
Man, you got any dip? Like you keep handing me all this pizza without dip. I've got to have some dip,
dips
like
it
some ranch
into
or
your
something.
blue cheese out of
Oh,
your
yeah.
wings box, and then puts it right in front of it. Eat this.
I'm sure it splashes with how fast he dips it.
Oh,
Now I've got blue cheese on my best vine, you know.
And he's just like, "Thank you, you two. Can name tag, right? Name tag, name tag, name tag, name tag, name tag, name tag, name tag."
I think by this time I've discovered the name tag. And I hand it over.
Activist, I imagine you're at least a little familiar with some of these people because they've been online and everything. They show up, especially some of the younger looking ones. But Quick Peek, for whatever good he's done, did just spray blue cheese over most of your workspace.
Oh yeah, that was going to be addressed. And it's like all over the name tags as well for everybody else, I imagine.
Mm-hmm.
This your guy, Stone Strike?
Yeah, he's pretty eccentric. Yeah.
Does he
Sorry about
need
that.
to be here? Do you need a babysitter?
No, like I'm freaking 17. I don't need a damn babysitter.
Oh wow, Gilgamesh chose you real good. All right, listen, he's in your hands. I'm gonna go. I have to go fight a guy.
I'm sure
Hey.
it'll be quick.
Phil, have a good time. Make some friends, bud.
Working on it.
Bye, and just gone. You just vaguely hear like a boom from outside.
Trying to hold the pizza in the box.
Oh yeah, he left that for you. He's very giving with food. All right. Eventually, Phil, you're gonna wander off with some of the other. There's food, plenty of sauces and drinks over on another table, and that does mean eventually, with much more patience and less line cutting, Star, you and your mentor Pink Streak get up to the table. You're muted.
Sorry, Star's gonna kind of look at those messy badges and not want one because it's got blue cheese all over it.
Oh, Pink Streak just like looks at it and just goes, "Give me 1 second." Very carefully steps away from everyone, zooms off into the kitchen, zooms back, stops before she gets back to y'all, and then hands over a thing of wet naps, basically, and says, "Will this help? Sorry about him."
Um, well, Star will do her best to clean up her badges. She's dressed like her shirt is like a kind of generic. It could be a dance uniform shirt, a cheer uniform shirt. You know, it's like a leotard with the block of color on it. But she does have a star put on it, and she does say, "I'm Star," to the people at the desk as
Alright.
she's cleaning off the badge.
But you are not made of hot gas.
No, my parents just really like astronomy.
My parents like astronomy too.
Oh, cool. What's your
Everyone's
name?
parents like astronomy. I hold out my name badge.
Oh, hi, I'm Star.
It is nice to meet you.
Yes, it's nice.
And I also fill you with like a warm welcome. That weird feeling of being warmly welcomed.
You describe it so well.
Is
Yeah, it's it kind of feels like you just peed your pants, but not in your pants. Like maybe a little bit in your face, and it's like your face just peed its pants.
Yep, that's it.
Okay, this is a strange place. And, Star's just going to be a little bit awkward right now with that strange feeling of warmth.
So you've got your name tag. That's all you need. You're good to
Okay,
go.
where do I go?
your mentor Pink Streak is gonna just like put her arm on your shoulder, and just go like, you're just gonna kind of mingle here with everybody. The Shadow Dude, don't let him be mean to you. I'm serious. He is.
Um,
He acts way meaner than he is. But he'll give y'all instructions later. You, I think there's food, but she points to her headphones, just like, I just got a 911. I gotta go.
you're leaving me here?
Yeah, superhero time. Sorry, you know how. Look, these people seem cool, and she points mostly at hacktivist, but like the finger is technically in between the two of you. Definitely more towards hacktivist and not towards the warm feeling aliens. They're really good. Here, secret insider knowledge. You're gonna be in a group with them, so they're cool. See you soon. I'll be back. I'll be around.
Okay, Star's just kind of surprised, so she expected her mentor to, be there, but she kind of gets it too, and just goes off towards more pizza.
Groovy. All right. Then eventually the rest of the high school age people come through. Y'all two, Hacktivist and IDK, y'all get to meet all sorts of people with various heroes with them. No more crazy speedsters, thankfully. And eventually, Raphael and Midnight Fox step up to the table. Midnight Fox is in his full costume, and he looks right at you, Hacktivist, and he just goes, Ms. St. Vincent, is it?
I like to go by Dupree.
Ah, my apologies. I'll make a note of that. It's nice to see you helping out around here. Anyway, Raphael, I'm going to hand you off to these wonderful people. He takes a look, like he's looking very clearly at y'all's two's badges and also Raphael's badge, and just goes, I think you three are going to get along very well. I hope. Make an effort, Raph. And I'll see you in a few weeks. And he just pats you on the arm and rolls out.
Oh yeah. What's up, guys? Raphael, Chiclana, Raph the One. There's only one of me.
Hey, yeah, man. That's cool. Is that like your YouTube intro or something?
Oh man, Wrath the One's my hero name.
Oh, Raph the One. Okay. Raph the One. Oh, I get it. Raphael, Raph. That's so freaking cool, man.
Hell yeah, it's sweet.
Yeah. I go by Stone Strike, you know. I don't know. I came up with it one day while I was just hanging out with my buds, playing some video games, and I don't know, it just came to me, you know.
Feeling it. Says it all.
Yeah.
Right. Sick.
I'm just gonna flex my left arm and then just kind of look at it like, shockingly at first, like I'm still not used to it being there.
I just make a little. I just use my psychic constructs to make a little arm in the air, flexing.
Whoa, that is super freaking cool.
I know, right?
All of you are cool, I think, as far as I know. Like, this is gonna be great. So we're working together, right? Is that what I overheard?
There is, as you say that, there is a whistle that just sounds. Activist and IDK. Next to y'all is Erebus, the man in the black trench coat. He is standing next to y'all and gestures y'all to join the rest of the teens. And he says, "Welcome to Camp Golden Oak. I am Erebus. Unfortunately, my son couldn't be joining us this year, though I'm sure you would all be a wonderful influence on him. If you would please look at your name tag and then find the other people with the same color. All of you will be a team for the duration of camp." So all of 5 of y'all have the same color. First person to tell me what color it is gets to set the color.
Green.
Purple.
I heard green.
Damn it.
Oh, come on.
Hey, that was my favorite. That was the color I was gonna pick. I love it. Who picked it?
So there's a bit of chaos, and eventually everyone gets into their groups. So there's a green team, there's a purple team, there's a red team, and there's a yellow team. Erebus just kind of, he doesn't nod, but something about the way he's standing with the shadows and everything, you just kind of get the feeling that something, part of him nodded, like the shadow nod. He doesn't communicate physically very well. He doesn't do nonverbal communication too well, but somehow he gets his point across. While you're here at camp, do consider these teams to be your family. Thank you. So, welcome to Camp Golden Oak. We're going to do 2 camp events. The first one we're going to do is capture the flag. Now, all we're going to do today, we're not going to do any dice rolling. This is all going to be narrative stuff. I want y'all to talk about, we're just going to go around kind of in, we're going to go around in camera order here. So we'll start with Nikki and then we'll go around. So Nikki, Lance, Kat, Leland, and Stace. We're going to go around that order on this. Tell me something that happens with your hero and the rest of the team during Capture the Flag. Now, this is a big old 4-team Capture the Flag arena in a forest. There are trails. There are 4 forts. Y'all all have to defend your flag, and you have to go steal another flag. So we'll start with Nikki. Tell me something that happens between Star and the rest of the team, good or bad. We do kind of want y'all to grow and bond together as we're doing this. So tell me something that happens with Star.
I think she would have try to have snacks hidden on her, and she's letting the group gather, and she's snacking and hoping they don't really see her because she wants to. She's a bag of chips. She wants to eat her chips, and they probably want her to participate, So she's gonna try to participate or try to not participate and like drop her chips while she's running. I think that's her thing for this game.
Very good.
Like
very
dropping
good.
snacks.
I love it. Raphael, tell me something that happens between Wrath the One and the rest of the team during this capture the flag game.
First thing you need to know is that Ref definitely has a GoPro on as this whole thing's happening, live streaming.
This is I'm imagining that like what you're streaming to someone else's server first and then they're editing it and bouncing it to Twitch after that, after they're like, oh no, can't show them. Oh, can't show them. Oh, can't show them. Okay, that's fine. Okay, good. That can go. No, can't show that. So there's someone that you are panicking every day of your life. And that's beautiful to me. So you are GoProing it. So what's Wrath doing?
So it's capture the flag, and I think Wrath seeing the flag. Is it just out in the open? Sort of thing?
It's in a fort. Each team has a fort with a flag in it.
It's in a fort.
Mhm.
Yeah. So I think. Okay, let's do that. I think before everyone heads out, Wrath kind of goes around and is like, "All right, guys, you want me to make anything? I can make a bazooka. I can make a whip. I can make a tank. Anyone?
Can you make some more chips?
I could, but they wouldn't be edible.
Can you make a cage around our flag?
Yeah, and I use my psychic constructs to raise a cage and place it over the flag.
Beautiful. All right, IDK, tell me something that you do with the rest of the team during this game.
Having a really hard time understanding why we are capturing something that is neither running nor hiding. Where's the sport in this? It is just standing there. We don't need to put a cage on something that is not going to run away.
As you say that, off to one side, you see a teen covered in fire sprint full on out of the forest and try to dive bomb into another team's flag, and he just bounces off a force field off into a tree.
I gesture over to it that happening, and I say, see, the flags are not running away.
Well.
Yeah, so they're really easy to catch, so you should go catch one. Go catch the yellow one. See how easy it is. It's not even moving. It's right there.
I think I try to telepathically communicate with the flag and ask it to come over.
It just flutters. It just really likes fluttering. It's just
not even an organic living being.
It just really likes fluttering.
Why do we need this flag?
Right.
I think we're trying to like prove our worth against the other team and use our powers to thwart them trying to capture our flag, but also use our powers to like catch their flag. You know what I mean? It's a really brutal thing when you think about it, because anything goes, it seems.
This sounds like competition.
Yeah. That's a good word. Yeah.
Why?
We're going to let that question just dangle, because I feel like that very well encapsulates IDK right now. Philip, what are you doing with this game and the team?
All right, so I'm gonna imagine that there's another strength-based soup on a rival team.
and I'm gonna end up squaring off with them in this like battle where we rip down like trees and fight with them like clubs. And my team is just gonna have to like dodge like shards of like tree and rock that are flying off my back, you know, and just all sorts of stuff just flying everywhere. And at one point, my character gets hit in the jaw with the base of the tree, and basically like this like green light just like starts glowing out of my eyes and like out of the cracks between the stone and the mud in my elemental part of my body, and I go into like almost like a Hulk rage and just start like tearing through the forest. And the person I was battling gets bested and starts to sort of run from me to go and try and protect their flag, and I just like charge through them and smash them into like a boulder or something. No one gets hurt, of course, because it's another like, you know, super tough, super strong badass that I'm fighting. But
Cool.
Anyway.
All right.
Sorry if that took so long.
No, you're good. You're good. Margot, tell me something Hacktivist is doing in this Capture the Flag game with the rest of the team.
Oh yeah. So what Margot is doing is during the conversation with IDK, she had been pulling out her various like audio devices. So she's like handing Wrath the one, the left earbud, and then like Stone Strike the right one, and then like someone else gets earbuds hooked up to an old cell phone, and she's distributing these. She's like, all right guys, put these in, we got comms. And then climbs up a tree, pulls out a little antenna, sets it up. She's got her laptop open, and she's got Wrath the one's live feed going, intercepted before editing. And then puts her drone up. And the thing that if anyone was watching would notice when she puts up her drone is that she's not using a controller to control the drone.
All right. So let's see what we're going to do for our second game. Now, I promise there's a point to these. We're going to get to it here in a minute. So the second game is going to be the second game is the obstacle course. Another guest counselor has come out for the day. They are an ice-based hero, and they have transformed the lake. This may be a week or two after the Capture the Flag thing. So y'all have been spending a lot of time together over this summer. It's, you know, we're maybe a month in at this point. They have transformed the lake into basically a block of ice, and they have built an obstacle course out of it. Each of y'all is stationed at a different point in the obstacle course. We're going to go the reverse direction we went last time. So it's going to start with Hacktivist, then it'll go back Hacktivist, Philip, IDK, Raphael, and then Star is going to finish the obstacle course. So it's like a relay race obstacle course. All right.
Oh.
Activist is starting.
Yep. Okay. Activist is starting. You're not the anchor. You're the starting leg. All right. So talk to me about the obstacle gives you all of y'all are going to have the same question. So the obstacle that gives you the biggest hurdle, and what happens when you're going to hand off the baton to your teammate. Star, you're not going to tell me about the teammate thing. You're going to tell me about the finish. So that's what's going to be different for you. So, Hacktivist, what is an obstacle that you encounter? The biggest obstacle you have to deal with?
On her part of the race, you mean?
Uh-huh.
Okay. So, so she gets to she's like already out of breath when she arrives at this obstacle. Like she's not used to having any sort of physical exertion. And so Then when she gets up at towards the end of her leg, it seems to be some sort of swimming section, right? Like she's got to swim, and she's got all of her electronics on her person. So yeah, so yeah, for real. What she does is she first tries to like get her drone rigged to like her backpack. Like she's taking time, right? So she's like tries to get her drone rigged to her backpack so that it can fly it across, and it's not stable. But eventually she gets that across, and then she just doggy paddles extremely slowly across the swimming pool until she manages to like reach out, or lake or whatever it is, and like slap the dock to hand off the next leg of the race.
All right. That answered both questions. I love it. Philip, tell me about an obstacle Stone Strike has to deal with and how you hand off the baton. They can be separate. They can be the same.
Okay. Okay, so you said that a lot of this involves a frozen lake.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I just in general, Stone Strike weighs so much that he's like cracking the ice almost, and he's like just scared to hell and back the entire time. So he's generally operating fairly slowly. He's not very fast to begin with, but he's just like tippy-toeing his way through this obstacle course, trying not to like sink down to the bottom of the lake and drown. It's like one of his biggest weaknesses. And so he as far as the way the handoff goes, I'm gonna say that the last leg to reach to the next person is just gonna require him to climb over something like a tall structure, and then drop down. So he just knows it's gonna break through. He just knows it's gonna happen. So he just tries his best to jump off of the structure as far as he can, so he can like reach out. And then he's like reaching with his, he's got that weird thing about handing people things with a stone arm, but he realizes his stone arm's way longer than his human arm, so he has to toss the baton over to his left arm and then last minute reach out and hand it to the person. And then there's just a Philip-shaped hole in the ice as he just like crashes through, and one of the refs has to like come down there and rescue him.
All right. IDK, you have been handed the baton from Stone Strike. Tell me about an obstacle you have to deal with and how you hand the baton off to Raphael.
So I think by this time, it's been a couple weeks, IDK finally like understands the purpose of competition and why it's important. So they just take the baton and they just speed off. It like not super speed, but like really fast, agile flying through kind of like these rocky or like icy, I guess, kind of almost like an agility course.
Okay.
And so like the camera would pan out and you see this snow leopard kind of sitting on top of one of these things and starting to stalk IDK. And then there's like this dramatic pause, and IDK comes out holding like the baton and the snow leopard and just like patting it. And in record time, pretty quickly and in an impressive fashion, and hands it off.
All right. So Raphael,
It goes back to like, and just, yeah. Or yeah, they hand off the baton, and it's their problem right now is giving all the loves to the snow leopard.
So Raphael, while IDK is now petting this new snow leopard that they are going to be terribly disappointed to learn is just made of snow, and cannot go home with them after this, you have the baton. Tell me about an obstacle and how you hand the baton off to Star.
first. Raphael sees that, and as he accepts the baton, he turns around and takes a selfie, and it posts it to his account. It says, "Whoa, so crazy!"
Like a bunch of emojis.
And,
Love it.
well, yeah, which emojis? Boy, yeah. Obstacles, huh? Oh boy,
Yep.
here we go. I think what happens is that he gets to a section where it's basically just like a jungle gym. Kind of have to just pull his way across from bar to bar, and it's just a physical challenge. It's just a long way to go. So he goes across that. Got the classic spike pit at the bottom.
All right. And how do you hand off the baton to Star?
I think he gets to close to the end. And he's like, wait a minute, I can just do that thing. And he uses telekinesis to to basically hand the baton to Star without having finished the entire thing.
Beautiful. All right. So, Star, you're going to tell me an obstacle that you have to deal with, and then how you finish the race.
Okay. At first, it looks like it's just a straight shot across a portion of the lake that's frozen, and then a trailer just kind of empties out, like tips over, and all the stuff falls out, and it was like the lunch trailer, so there's tables and chairs and all of the stuff all over the ice, and now she has to get across that to get to the finish. So she has a snack, obviously, because she loves snacks, but she ends up dropping it, and she kind of just effortlessly dashes through all of it, like kind of dance. I broke it to her to finish, and we just in her pocket for some chips. It's not so.
All right. So,
Okay, my audio.
yeah, it's cutting in a little bit. Okay. All right, we're going to go on to the last night of camp. Y'all have been here for 2 months. Y'all have gotten to know each other pretty well. Y'all have been talking. Y'all are in the same cabin together. Y'all have been able to do all these different competitions together. You've seen a bunch of your powers and abilities as much as y'all are willing to share. So what I want y'all to do before I describe this last night of camp setup, I want y'all to be looking over at your playbook. And in the zone where it talks about relationship and influence, be thinking about where y'all want to do that as a team, like how you want to answer those questions. On the relationship questions, you can choose which of those you want to answer, depending on what you want to do on that, because some of those are, some of them might not fit what you want your character to be like. So you can choose which of those questions. Try to answer at least one of them for me, for us, as we're doing this. But then definitely we're going to answer the influence question. And influence question is something you do need to mark down on your sheet. I believe here in Roll20, there should be a place for it. Yes, it's underneath the label section. It's just influence. You can add who gives you influence over them, and you can add who you give influence to. So be thinking about that. And here is the last night of camp. It is, as is tradition, a bonfire. It is, there's a bonfire pit. Y'all know, because y'all heard the rowdiness, that last night was the middle school bonfire. Y'all also did notice that people were having to rebuild the bonfire pit this morning. replace benches. The middle schoolers get a little crazy. Thankfully, there's not that many of them. Y'all know the night before that, or I guess the early evening before that, was the littler kids got to have their little campfire with s'mores. Now it's y'all's night. Y'all are all grouped on. They're not benches really for y'all. It's like each of y'all gets a little circle kind of on a quarter of the campfire. So y'all have chairs. Y'all each get a chair. Y'all are kind of in a huddle. Y'all have spent 2 months basically with each other all day long. So a little bit of familiarity brings contempt is probably happening because y'all are all teens, but also y'all know each other pretty well. So we are going to start with, IDK. We're just going to start in the middle this time. And then we'll go around through Philip and Margot and Star and wrap up with Raphael. You're going to answer the relationship questions and the influence question. You can answer as many relationship questions as you need to. This is just to kind of help tie y'all a little bit more together, okay? So pick one of the questions, tell us what it is and how you're answering it, and then tell us how you're answering the influence question.
So relationships, I have 2 questions and I think I have an answer for both of them.
Okay.
You've been learning about Earth by spending time with probably hacktivist, especially in those first 2 days. That probably just made sense. And it says you have a crush on blank, but you keep it under wraps. I have a crush on that snow leopard that was just like, it's a really weird thing, but like, I think I broke you.
Oh, that's great. I love it.
But I'm not really gonna.
It will not be
I'm
reciprocated.
sure I'll get it. I will never. Huh?
It will not be reciprocated. The snow leopard will melt long before it is able to pay you back any loss.
Hold on now. I'm making notes now for this, so don't you worry. Snow leopard is not gone.
Can't kill someone's crush.
Joke in one of my games, why don't you?
I don't know that crush was ever really. Was it actually a thing? I don't know. We'll find out. And my influence. So I have a demeanor. I'm either haughty or cheerful. I'm choosing cheerful, and I'm thrilled to be here, and everyone has influence over me.
Okay, so everybody else put down that you have influence over IDK. All right. We're going to roll around. Philip, how are you choosing to answer the relationship questions? Either of them or both of them, and the influence question.
Okay. My relationship question is, I'm gonna need a little feedback from some people before I can answer it. Which one of you seems like you would be most likely to comfort somebody who's bummed out? Who if you just notice someone who just looks bummed out, which one of your characters is most likely will actually walk up and talk to them? Because my question is, blank comforted you when you were at your lowest. Someone other than IDK, because I would have just walked. I would have probably tried to walk away from that situation.
I mean, hacktivist. Go ahead, Star. It's probably
no,
probably
that's okay.
benefit.
Oh, okay. She would have tried to, been nice.
Okay, so Star's nice. What about hacktivists?
Hacktivist would do it, but in the rudest way possible. She'd be like,
Yeah.
"What the heck is wrong with you?"
Yeah, toughen up. You're made out of stone. I'm gonna go with Star's niceness because it didn't seem to have that condition. But we'll say both. We'll say both of them comforted me when I was at my lowest, but in their own way.
All right.
If that's possible. If I can
No,
pick two.
yeah, you answer those questions however you need to.
Okay.
So, and what about the influence question?
Okay, well, I had one more relationship question. if that's
Okay. I didn't know if you want to do that one or not. Go right ahead.
Okay, what's
It says if someone knew me before I changed. So is anybody like? Did anyone go to like public school and like on Earth and like? No, nobody. All right.
I'd be-
I probably didn't know anybody.
I don't know, Raph's on social media and stuff, so maybe way back in the day,
I got an
like they were in
idea.
the same group or something.
Yeah, like on a forum. We were friends on a forum or something. Like,
Yeah,
what's a weird fandom we can both be like super into?
I don't know.
Let's think about that before next week. We need to come up with a fandom that you and I are just like moderators of a forum for.
We'll think of something. Yeah, didn't recognize you because you changed a bit.
Yeah, exactly. We used our real pictures. We were, trying
For
to make something of it.
That was you.
Yeah, my face is all half made of rocks now. And my influence is not a question. It says you try not to. Maybe a little confused by that, but you try not to care what other people think, even if you can't shut everyone out. Give influence to one teammate. Oh, so I see. I pick one person that I do care what they think about me, basically. Okay. Oh, damn. You know what? I'm just going to kind of go for the perpetually sad demeanor. So I'm thinking Hacktivist would be the best person that I just let all of her mean words get to me. You know what I mean? Like everyone else, I'm just like, whatever.
That's
But Hacktivist,
wonderful.
yeah, she just really bums me out sometimes,
All right. Hacktivist, it is your turn.
Okay, so for hacktivist relationships, I think that I have to consider Knox for hacktivist, even though they're not here right now.
Okay.
For the relationships, but Blank is the only one who understands what I'm going through. I told them which part of me I wish was more like my parent. So I think that would be a future thing that might happen. So with the second one, I'm kind of wondering who everyone's mentors are, because it is my parents once fought and thrashed Blank. I've got to find a way to make it up to them. So I think it should be one of your mentors, and Hacktivist is going to try to make it up to them by making it up to you.
Okay.
Mine's the annoying guy that talked a lot and zoomed around
Quick
shoving
peek.
breadsticks in people's faces. My face, particularly. I mean, you could totally kick that dude's ass if you want, but.
Yeah, mine's Quetzal or Quetzal.
Ooh.
Mine's is Midnight Fox.
And I believe Knox's is also Midnight Fox.
I would kind of like Midnight Fox to have gotten their butt kicked. I like that scenario.
Which one is Star's mentor?
Pink Streak. Oh no.
Yeah, Pink Streak.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
She's cool.
I like Midnight Fox though, the
All
popular
right.
kid. So and then influence. This team may be the key to proving you're different from your parent, but you don't want to be defined by your peers either. Give influence to 2 teammates. So I'm gonna go ahead and say Margot, having lived a rather privileged life and is now trying to dismantle the system, would have empathy and would care what Stone Strike thought, because Stone Strike went to public school.
Oh, cool. Yep, I did. And I sucked at it. All right.
All right. And your other one?
I think that it's going to be probably Knox.
Okay. We will fill him in this week about any of these things. So, and which ones he's giving out as well. All right. Star, it's your turn.
Okay. One of mine is the Knew You from Civilian Life First one. Maybe someone knew her from seeing her at a recital, or maybe seeing the video of her like saving her recital person. I know there's a better word for that. I just don't know it right now. Does anybody watch Dance Fails on streaming?
Oh, Hacktivist is like extremely online. So if it was online, she's probably seen it.
Okay. Yeah, she was just like supposed to be a dance student and like probably screwed that whole thing up while saving them. And of course, her sister's rumors didn't help anything.
Mm.
The next one is refuse to tell this person your secret identity. Maybe she's a little feels like she's in the shadow of I can't remember these names yet. You. I forgot your character's name.
Which one?
Yours. You're speaking.
Me?
Yes.
I'm the GM. I am every character except
Oh, I'm
y'all.
sorry. No, not. I'm sorry.
Are you talking about Stone Strike, green headphones?
Yes, Stone Strike.
Okay.
So she would like not even talk to him.
That makes
Okay.
sense. I get it.
Surprised it wasn't me.
Okay,
Is
well,
it-
that doesn't work. That doesn't work.
A lot, boys.
That doesn't work though, so I can't do that. Sorry, I got to rethink that.
It's okay.
It would be like the most overbearing person that she would like kind of shut down around.
Is that Raphael? That feels a bit
Okay.
like Raphael, right?
Hi.
Especially if you don't
Popular.
accidentally want it on stream.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
yeah.
Live streamer.
Oh, does he wear that?
Influencer.
I'm gonna blog this later, non-ironically.
Oh my gosh, she hides from him. She hides from him.
No.
She does not want to be anywhere near his stream. She hides.
Beautiful.
She's always
You
the
know
one
how-
seen covering her face with her hand as she's like
With
walking in
chips.
the background.
With like chips or popcorn or something.
Excellent.
You know how Randy Savage dressed
Yeah.
for his like matches? That's the same kind of aura that Wrath
Oh
just
dear.
always exudes with his outfits.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, she is hiding from you.
All right, and your influence.
I think that she thinks that like Hacktivist has everything figured out. So she's always just kind of like influenced by that. She thinks she's like calm, cool, and collected and just knows how to be Hacktivist.
Hmm.
And I don't know
Alright.
who the second one. I'm trying to think of the second influence.
Okay.
But I have the first.
All right. Well, we can answer that sometime this week if you,
Okay.
or
Yeah.
if you come up with it while we're still on stream, you can let us know then. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. So then, Raphael,
Mhm.
relationship time.
Hey. All right, my first one is you told blank all about your doom and the danger you're in. Well, I can tell them as much as Raphael currently knows, which is that he's losing his memory a lot and forgetting things. So I feel like what to tell. I think it'd be funny if he told IDK just because he's just like he's relatively sure that they won't remember really or not understand what he's really talking about. So I think it was probably just like he'd recently had a bit of a memory lapse and he's kind of frustrated, so he's like, I should just tell someone. And IDK was like the only one around, so he's like, oh, okay. And then my second one is you'd love to kiss blank before your doom comes. But I think it'd be funny. Well, it's funny to me if he forgot who it was.
That's perfect.
That's great. Okay. You've got a crush on somebody. You just don't know who it is. So hope for the best, I guess.
I'll figure it out one day.
It's one of you.
Maybe they'll smooch me and then I'll know.
Boy, if that's not a teenage experience in a nutshell right there. I am really into somebody. I just don't know who it is. All right. And what's your influence?
These people matter for what you need to do. Give influence to 2 of your teammates. What I need to do. I'm going to say for what you need to do. It's basically beat my nemesis. I'm gonna do hacktivist and I'm gonna do stone strike.
Okay, sorry. What was it again? I was reading one of my powers. What was your
You're
influence?
you have influence over Raphael.
Okay, excellent.
All right. Okay. So y'all are getting to spend this last night together as a team, kind of finalizing these bonds that y'all have developed this summer. As the fire is kind of dying down, the other teams are being kind of walked off with some of their mentors. Presumably, y'all know that y'all are kind of getting like an assignment for the next step of the superhero training, more or less. And Erebus walks up with a woman in a business suit. She's got like an iPad in one hand. She is walking up behind Erebus. She's on a phone right now. Erebus stands in front of y'all and says, "Green team. We're all very proud." And you can just feel zero pride in his voice. There's nothing. There's nothing there. We're very proud of your development as a team. Y'all are a wonderful instrument of justice. Anyways, this is Miss Stephanie Villalobos. She is going to be your liaison with your superhero overseers on the next stage of your training. Your team will be moving to Eon City, and you will be working together to do. Then he just kind of gestures hero things and attending school. I will leave it to Miss Villalobos to tell you more. And he literally just like melts into a shadow in the ground and is gone.
My character looks more bummed out than he did the other day while he was sitting by the campfire thinking about how he's unable to control his body sometimes. But yeah, he is not really happy about the fact that he still has to go to school. He was hoping he could just graduate early and become a hero. It's kind of what he thought this whole program was.
IDK also tries to melt into the ground. And I don't think they're very successful.
Are you just like sprawled on the ground, just like pushing into it?
I think I'm just standing and I'm expecting to like, I am now like I usually float like a good like 6 inches to a foot off the ground. And I kind of just sit and I'm like, it's almost like the feeling of I should be sinking into the ground right now just emanates to all the brains around me. Like I'm trying to be really like graceful about it, but like that thought just permeates out.
Star's gonna say school's not gonna be that bad. We could just all hang out together.
Yeah, I'm just freaking 17 and in the 10th grade. I just feel like I've been here long enough. Is there like a superhero GED or something? I don't know.
Stephanie has a new flip touch phone. It's the newest thing from Howell Industries, top of the line. Very nice stuff. She flips it closed. Mainly, she had them design it that way so that she could flip it closed and make that click noise. And she just turns and says, "There, I'm working on that. We've got some senators looking at it. One's being a pain." But no, y'all, you
Sinking?
are. Yeah, hello.
Oh, they're working on the ground that's not sinking.
No, add water, make mud. The hero GED thing.
Oh, never mind.
Unfortunately, yes.
So Hacktivist is eyeballing that flip phone and can control machines. So while they're all standing there, she is attempting to get information to control that device so that it emails her information found on that phone. Just as much of it she can get. Calendar, like whatever.
Amazing.
I need you to make the one dice roll we're gonna make today.
Let me get a dice
That's
roll.
hilarious.
And we're gonna figure out how we resolve. I'm gonna figure out how we resolve this over this next week to see what you get. So just
Yeah.
roll 2d6 plus superior, I guess.
Yeah.
We're doing a dice roll tonight. I did not think we were gonna get to a dice roll, but all right.
I got a
Yeah,
5 and a 3, and I have +1 superior.
You got a 9. All right. So that is a partial success. That is good to know. So you got something. It might take a minute for whatever it is to be like packaged up and emailed to you. So that's how I'm going to buy myself time to figure out what you just stole from this very important person. Okay. I love it. So she's just she's kind of looking at all five of you and just goes, all right, so y'all are moving to my town, Eon City. I liaise with the Centurions, who are the team there. They're frequently out and about, so y'all probably won't be working much directly with them. Look, I'll be honest, the leader of that team really believes in kind of learning on your own in the field. So your mentors will be popping through to check in on you as much as they can. Y'all will actually, and she stops and she like reaches into a bag and pulls out 5 brand new flip phones like hers and just like tosses one to each of you. Those are brand new encrypted Howell Industries flip touch phones for y'all. They have a couple numbers pre-programmed in, and don't worry about data or phone. It's all taken care of is what I'm saying.
Question.
Yeah.
Does Spotify have an app for this?
Yes.
All right.
If not, and she looks right at Hacktivist and she goes, I'm pretty sure someone in your team can build one. Yeah. Hi.
Sorry, sorry. Can you just say hi to my chat real quick? We're going to Eon City, boys. Raph goes in the chat.
She pulls a pen out of her pocket and just like shines it at your camera and says, hi. And if you can see your chat, basically what happened is her face retroactively was blurred out. And the voice sounds different too. So y'all are going to be on a plane tomorrow morning to Eon City, bright and early. We have a clock tower set up as y'all's private apartment. Y'all each get a nice good sized room. We've got some people working on some superhero suits for y'all, some custom jobs. Y'all will be able to put all your input in on it when you get there. We're going to give you a tour of the city, introduce you to a couple of our resident heroes, and also take you over to the Simone Academy, where y'all will be attending school for this year. I think you'll like it. The city's pretty nice. It's been fairly quiet since we dealt with the vampires. But, you know, it is still Eon City, and trouble pops up pretty regularly. So y'all should get plenty of experience. And I know the Centurions are going to be happy to have y'all in town. And I know your mentors are expecting a lot out of y'all. So we'll see y'all in the morning, I guess.
Star asks for a dance bar in Mirror.
For the apartment?
And I lost you guys again.
Night or because we can get you that in your room or in one of the rooms. The clock tower is pretty big and we own it all, or a friend of mine does. So we can get that for you. Probably we can make that happen.
That's great.
We'll call it a workout expense, I guess. And she like pulls out her iPad and just jots some things down. So can I help y'all out tonight, or do y'all just want to go to bed, or help me out here? How can I help y'all, or can I just go?
You can go.
Yeah.
Hi,
Like,
yes.
please go.
Sync person?
Sorry.
Why do I need this? And I hold up the phone.
Oh, that is how you communicate with everyone. I think. Did someone explain phones to her?
Yes.
Okay.
But I can just do this, and then I just directly like sounds images directly into her head.
She just like squints her eyes and just goes, okay, so ground rules, don't with me. Okay, thank you. Can you get echoes back from people?
I can read. Yes.
You got a sense of this sudden, like, you got a sense that she's missing something in a cave that looked like a suit of armor to you.
Why is there a metal person?
She narrows her eyes and says, so y'all are heading to bed then, and I'll see y'all when you get to Eon City. Cool.
I've never read anything about metal people living here.
Oh, you need to meet Quartermaster, but he's in London, so sometime. We have one or two robot people.
Oh,
just a few.
That
Yeah.
wasn't what I saw.
I thought you were talking about music. Sorry.
No.
There was a very lonely person with no insides standing in a cave. But why?
She just like shakes her head and starts to turn and walk away. And all of you can just kind of hear like, lonely my ass, and walks off.
Hacktivist will try to collect everybody's phones to do some upgrades.
I hand you my phone willingly and don't need it back.
Yeah. I give you mine and then pull out my smartphone, which has a bunch of like music saved to it, like a bunch of like underground local metal stuff that I have like saved to the hard drive. That's not
like
on
recorded
Spotify.
holding up your phone.
Yep, just jamming out.
Good times.
Star's gonna be like, so these things are bugged, right?
Probably.
The phone.
Hacktivist is trying to be like, I'm like without speaking, she's like, I'm going to take care of it. just kidding.
Star's like, oh, okay.
All right.
Rock on.
Anything else y'all want to do before y'all head to bed?
Yes. I'm gonna spend a little time making psychic constructs of all of our names, in this field to flex on all the other teams.
Very good.
Just big
do you-
letters right in the middle of this field saying all our names.
Do you try to get the rest of your teammates to pose next to their name?
Sure. Be
Do
around
any of y'all do that?
Star is
Oh.
trying to hide from this guy.
Yeah, I am
I'm
not comfortable enough.
streaming.
I'm not
I'm not
comfortable enough.
streaming anymore.
All right,
Uh,
so IDK or hacktivists, do y'all pose?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Hacktivist is in the V of hacktivist, like sitting in there with her back against one side and her legs against the other, just like typing away. She's like barely looking. She's like, yeah, I'm here.
I definitely take a picture of this.
That's the first cover of the first hacktivist solo book, right? Solo
Yeah.
comic book.
hmm
All right. Well,
I do the same for IDK too. And
very
myself.
good.
I
Do you
count
have
on top
all
of
the letters out there?
The hero name.
All
Yeah, but
right. Well,
I take the time to just do that.
that's where we're going to call it for this session 0. Thank y'all so much for watching. Thank y'all so much for playing. We are going to be back next week with y'all's totally normal, absolutely no danger. Nothing's going to go wrong. Flight to Eon City. Everything is fine. Don't even worry about it. So we are going to, I guess, let's see. Top right is gone. So I guess we'll start with Kat then. You're the closest there. We'll start with you on these closing questions and go around. Questions are, what were your favorite part? Where can we find you next? And anything you'd like to share?
Favorite part was probably, I don't know, I just liked being a dick. And just like, this is, so like, one of the joys of my character is that I get to just like really be a dick about stupid things that I personally don't believe in. And like, I have a justification for that. Like, oh, competition, but why? Or like, why do we need so much technology to communicate when we can just telepathically talk to each other? So that was kind of fun, and it makes me really excited to play this. Where can you find me? Here at this time. I'm not playing any other games this season yet. I don't know if there's a yet, but like, who knows? I'm not doing anything other than this right now. So yeah, that's it.
Awesome. Next up, Leopold Leland.
Whichever one. Both. Both works. I am. What are we doing? We're just plugging stuff.
What's your favorite part?
Oh.
Where can we find you next? And anything you'd like to share?
Yeah, that's it. My favorite part. Just the capture the flag and obstacle course scenes. That just the various scenes that everyone came up with were very cool, and it was fun. Like imagining how they connected together and stuff, and getting to see everybody's basically use their powers without having to worry about dice rolls. Not that I hate dice rolls. I'm just saying it was, cool to see people basically describe their characters in that way. And what was the next question? Sorry.
Where
I have a
can
bad
we
memory.
find you next?
Where can you find me next? Okay. Let's see. Okay. On Fridays on my friend Patrick's channel, you can find him on some of Raven's campaigns this season. But on Fridays at like 2 p.m. Central, we're going to be starting next Friday. We're going to be doing a bi-weekly session. Me, him, and Zan from Xanity Gaming are going to be doing a video game RP session of Divinity Original Sin 2. I don't know if you've ever played that game, but it's great. But we're going to be doing like kind of like an RP in character run through of that bi-weekly on Fridays, starting next Friday at 2 p.m. Central. So check it out. It's on twitch.tv/ATTACKTRIK, Attack Trick, kind of like Patrick, but Attack Trick. But yeah, looking forward to that. It's gonna be
Very
awesome.
cool. Very cool. And anything else you'd like to share?
No, just looking forward to the next game. I guess it's
Awesome.
gonna be cool. I love super. It's one of my favorite genres to play in. A long time ago, I kind of got like my fill on fantasy medieval stuff. So in the first genre I jumped towards, besides like zombies, just because I'm obsessed with horror stuff, but was superheroes. So this is one of my long time awesome favorite genres. So it's always cool to see superhero groups come together and stuff, because those are my favorite superhero movies, is when it's more than one superhero in it.
All right, Stace.
Yeah, so my favorite part of the session was absolutely forcing a dice roll in a diceless session. So that was really cool. And honestly, my favorite part was also, Matt, that you let it happen, like it wasn't in the plan, which is always nice. And I thought that was a cool application of her powers too.
Yeah.
And then where can you find me next? I'm elusive. Unless you look on Twitter at Stace Windu, you find me there. And then also you can find my podcast dropping every Wednesday. You can check us out at explorerswanted.fm. It is a weekly Numenera actual play podcast, and I am a player in that game. So otherwise, do I have anything else? No, not really. Other than this was a blast. Had a lot of fun, and I am excited for next week.
Very cool. All right, Nikki.
Hi. I just enjoyed all of it. It was just a great session. I really, really look forward to this season.
Awesome.
On Tuesdays, I play in Hunters on this channel. And I don't really know what else to say. I'm really bad at this.
That's all right. That's all right. All right.
Teleprompter.
And Lance.
Okay, favorite moment. I think it was just the just the intros, the classic introduction to all our heroes that we'll look back on in a few weeks and be like, oh wow, came from there. Which is something I love. You can find me here again next Friday for both games. It's 12, I think PDT. Oh, Jesus. And 6. Someone help me out. 6. I think. You can find me on Twitter at LTALIG. That's at LTALIG. And you can find me on Twitch, which I'll be putting right down there in the chat. And I think that's me wrapped.
All right. For me, I loved how much all of y'all just dug into your individual characters. I am so excited to see how y'all grow and change this season, and just what sort of adventures we're going to have with this team of super teens. I cannot wait. It's going to be so much fun playing with y'all. You can find me next on Mondays at Jam Game Streams here on Twitter. And you can find me on, this isn't Twitter, this is Twitch. Jam Game Streams on Twitch, at Matt Hoadley on Twitter. I also have a podcast that drops more or less once a month. 2020 has been a nightmare for that, but we're finally more or less back on schedule. And we actually dropped an episode today. It's called Hard Reboot. You can find that on Twitter at RebootCast or on any of the podcatchers you might care to look up. We take a public domain property and slap a fresh coat of paint on it. And this month we did Don Quixote, and it's wild. It's a wild time. So that's it for me. And I think we're going to hand this back over to our host, Raven, for the raid.
Yeah, that was fantastic. Thank you all so much for this session. It was a lot of fun to watch. I love all the characters and the superhero powers and personas and everything. I can't wait to see what you all come up with next week for everything. So yeah, I'm looking really forward to it. Thank you again to Michael Wayne for that $2 donation. Everybody that came and hung out with us and did the tweets and everything. It looks like we did get enough to get Nat that D6, so that'll be up on the counters next week. And then yeah, we're gonna go on a raid. We're gonna go raid Trooper SJP. Trooper is just a fantastic and phenomenal person. If you're not following him on Twitter or on Twitch rather, either really, but specifically on Twitch, definitely hit that follow button when we head over there. And then we've got our raid cry, which I love. Well, someone's got a +3 in their SAS label, so feel free to copy that from chat and paste it in as we go over. And then, yeah, tune in tomorrow back at this channel at 6 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time for Animus Absentus, where I'll be jamming that sci-fi game, where essentially the crew of the ship has lost their memories and are trying to figure out kind of their place in the world, or the galaxy, as it were. And we had a lot of intense stuff that happened in the season finale last season, so it's going to be really cool coming into the season, seeing some conclusion to that. So, yeah, but we're going to go ahead and hit the raid button, and I will see you all tomorrow. Bye, everyone.